What is up, rockers? Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms content. I'm Shinchi42. First of all, I want to say thank you to 1254. If you guys are new to Rise of Kingdoms or new to our channel and you are interested in seeing more Rise of Kingdoms content, subscribe to the channel now. We are a sponsored content creator for Rise of Kingdoms. Now, if you want to play Rise of Kingdoms on your computer, I have a link on my description. Check it out. It's a emulator link. It's called BlueStacks, and that is what I am using right now. All right, so let's just make this a little bit of casual review of Harald. As you can see, the equipment, I guess they have tested their equipment as well. Wow, we have an amazing equipment in here. As you can see, expertise into cabs, pretty good. We have a Wu Zetian gear as well. And we will have the Charles Martel gear. I guess these are the commanders that they're going to be using for their testing as a primary commander. All right. Now that you have seen that, all right, as you can see, we have a lot of reports in here thanks to Black Frosty Widow. And let's take a look. Wow, so this seems like a mock run with, wow, actually, I like the effort of this testing. It's a mock run with reinforcement. Okay, that is interesting. Okay, so the first thing they've done is Wu Zetian and Yi Sun Sin going against Alexander the Great and Harald as a secondary. And let's take a look at the troop type that they have used. This is a mixed troop, as you can see. There's no siege in here though. All right, I don't see any siege. It's a mixed troop. And let's take a look. This has got to be full infantry. All right. Now let's take a look at the buff. All right, so infantry 169, 133, 76%. Well, 76.5% for health, and you can see, well, a lot of stats in here. All right, you guys can analyze that further if you like, but we'll try to keep it brief. We don't want to make it too in-depth, because if I do it that way, it will be very confusing at some point, right? Very confusing. As we explain it, not everybody would understand it. Now, let's just take a look at the overview in here. As you can see, Alexander Harald. The report is not really that much of a promising result. Ugh. Somebody filled up their hospital too, it seems like it. 11k dead. Now, I don't really recommend this build. I guess they are buffing that as well with Joan of Arc. Yeah, I don't think this is a very good approach with Alexander and Harald. It's a very good report to share to us to understand what type of combination will work. Let's take a look at the second one in here. Now another one in here. Wait, did we just look at the first one? Okay, this is a different one, but again, it's not the best. You don't want to have this type of result. It's pretty even. I don't think this is a very good combination of using Alexander in here. As you can see, they actually flipped it up. Harald as the primary this time. It actually did, I think it did much worse. Did it do a lot worse? Because in here you have a better gap. Yeah, I think having Harald as a primary and having Alex as a secondary, not the best. All right, so let's take a look at the buff in here with the second report. And I think it was a higher infantry attack from the previous one. This is 172, 139, 77. You guys can compare that result. I'm not going to go too much in depth on this, but I'm just going to show the buff. So for those players who are interested on looking into that, you guys can definitely analyze it. Now the third report, as you can see, it's Guan Yu Alexander, less severely wounded. And there is, I guess, for both sides, I would just say it's there's about 40k more in here. I don't know. It seems like it's pretty much the same, pretty close and same result. Looking at the other one, it seems like they had more severely wounded. It could be potentially because of the amount of reinforcement that the rally has taken, and depending on the duration of the battle as well. All right, let's take a look. 1, 2, 3. It should be the fourth one now. This is a Guan Yu and Harald. Oh, okay. Well, I want you guys to actually pay attention to time frame as well. I didn't really pay attention to the first one. This is about like 5 minutes, and I can't really vouch for how much reinforcement they have done for the other one, but it seems like with this setup, it's not even doing that great because you're getting a lot more severely wounded compared to the defender, and I don't think that's really advisable to use this kind of combo. Now, we do know that with Harald is that he has the anti-swarming factor, right? So if he is a primary march that is, attacking the pass, it could be swarm, or, if it's a rally. Now, I would suggest is that perhaps Guan Yu and Harald would be a very good, march for a counter rally. All right, so let's take a look at the 5th report. Now this is another Alexander and Harald. Again, actually it seems a lot better than using Guan Yu. Lesser severely wounded in here. But at the end of the day, it really depends. I can't really vouch for everything that is being reinforced in here. Now, that was Alexander and Harald. Let's take a look at the first one again. Alexander Harald, pretty consistent result, honestly. That was like about 20k difference. So we should be looking at the 5th one, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's 3rd, 4, 5. This one. Yeah, it's pretty consistent in my opinion. It's about 20k difference. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6th one. Okay, so we have like 4 left in here to look at. Another Alexander and Harald, as you can see, better as well. Oh, so I guess they've changed the defenders in here. This is now Martel and Theodora. Very interesting. Again, it's still successful. All right, so looking at the 5th report, they have switched it now to Yi Sun-sin, Theodora. It seems like, the buff's probably going to be the same. It seems like pretty consistent with the Wu Yi Sun-sin earlier. About 20k difference for that battle. All right, so as you guys can see, this is now a Martel Theodora. And this is full infantry. Okay, so it did still better, but it still did good, but I think it's not really the best. Okay, that's all I can say for that one. And I hope I didn't miss anything. Now, Attila and Takeda rallying against Wu Zetian Yi Sun-sin. It's a pretty decent mixed troops in here. I don't really know the ratio, but let's take a look into the buff. So looking into this one, Attila and Takeda rally, Wu Zetian Yi Sun-sin. You know what? It's almost pretty much the same as one of the reports in Alexander and Harald, I think. It's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. Okay, so let's take a look into the last one in here. I think it's the last one. Wow. Wu Zetian Yi Sun-sin. So this is a different player, maybe a different buff. Harder to, I don't know. I feel like they've changed. I didn't really keep track of who they are. I feel like they have changed. The person must be a different gear if they kept the gear. But it seems like Alexander and Harald here did an amazing job. I wonder if they switched any talent trees or something like that. Very interesting. All right, there's also a report here with Attila Takeda, Yi Sun-sin, Theodora. Attila Takeda doing quite well. Beating Yi Sun-sin and Theodora for that amount of severely wounded. So what can we conclude in this video regards to Harald is that the Guan Yu Harald is not really the best because there's really not much defense in there, right? I think really using Alexander and Harald is the best. Now, it is potentially might be better if you're using a Guan Yu Harald when you are actually doing a counter rally. That might be more beneficial because then you're not actually directly attacking the target. Now it could be beneficial because the target is not directly attacking your march, so you're gonna be really focused on casting the skills and inflicting that into the enemy when you are using a Guan Yu and Herald. Now if you are going to be the target of your target, then I would say using Alexander is better based on the report that we have seen. I believe this is really very important for Alex with Harald. Attack bonus and defense bonus whenever there is a shield or there is no shield. I feel like this made a big difference with the battle reports that we have seen. And of course, with the first skill of Alex, you're absorbing, right, the attack damages through the shield as well. Now with Guan Yu, there's really no tank ability except for the attack reduction, but 30% is good, but I just think it's not enough in my opinion. I mean, Guan Yu is supposed to be a super high DPS, but I feel like without the little tank ability, it doesn't really work well. And plus, Alexander with the talent tree. Now, I don't know what talent tree they've used. Remember, this talent tree, as it basically, the longer the battle is, the stronger the march becomes as well with the attack tree. So is Harald bad? I don't think so. I don't think he's a bad commander. I think with the right commander pairing, he is pretty decent, as you guys have seen. But the differences between Alex and Harald and then the Attila and Takeda that we have seen, there's really not a whole lot of difference, right? I think Harald could be really great. It really, at the end of the day, depends within the alliance and how much you're going to reinforce your rally, because if you can't keep it up, it's not gonna work. Well, with that being said, thank you rockers for watching this video. Hopefully you guys have learned something here. If we missed something, if we misinterpret something, just comment in the comment section below. Let us know. You don't need to be rude. Anyway rockers, see you next time.